Hello everyone, welcome back again to the Watchtower, and today I am doing a spoiler review for the Joker movie. If you've already seen my non-spoiler review that I did a couple days ago, now this is the spoiler one where I'm going to, dig into the nuts and bolts of this movie and everything and really discuss at length what happens in it and my thoughts on it. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, you don't want to be spoiled, please turn this off now and then, come back afterwards and watch it, and let me know in the comments what you thought. If you have different opinions about stuff, let me know. So, diving right into it here, this movie is, I said in this non-spoiler review, this movie is very, very good. It's awesome, and just the progression of the Arthur Fleck character, going from Arthur Fleck, who's this pathetic. Well, he's still pathetic at the end, but pathetic nobody until he descends further and further and establishes this Joker persona and becomes the Joker. It's very, very well done, very well crafted. Joaquin Phoenix, as I said before, is so good in this. He's really good. I'm hard to say that he's the best Joker because he doesn't really spend a lot of time as the Joker. For me, it's still Heath Ledger, but very well done as well. So good movie, master acting class, and it's hard, because he's doing a character who's not sympathetic, who's not really very interesting. If this is a guy that you would see on the street or whatever, or that you would work with, you would not interact with him because he's not a very nice character. He's very not sympathetic. He's weird. He's odd. But So you start the movie. Arthur's a character who he works for a clown company, which basically, just like it sounds, is a company that has clowns and people hire them to do whatever birthdays, work, be out front of their store or whatever, holding a sign, work at hospitals to cheer people up, all that kind of stuff. He works for this clown company. He lives with his mother. He cares for his mother. He's also a struggling stand-up comedian. He's a stand-up comedian. He's never done a gig or anything. He just sits and watches other stand-up comedians and everything and writes down material and everything. It's very interesting because he's sitting there because he doesn't really know what's funny. He's a stand-up comedian, but he doesn't know what's funny. He's sitting there, there's a part in the movie early on where he's watching a stand-up comedian speak, and he's writing notes, and he says, make eye contact, tell personal stories, make them funny, sexual stuff. It's really funny. So he doesn't understand humor. And there's this whole part where he's watching a stand-up comedian, and he's laughing at the wrong parts. He's laughing at parts where the guy's, setting up that joke that's not funny, or then people are laughing at the joke, and he's a couple seconds delayed, and then he's laughing at it. So it's a very interesting concept of he doesn't actually, really have a sense of humor, and he doesn't know what's funny. I guess he has a sense of humor for him, and as it goes along, you find out what that sense of humor is. But, general, what we would see, we would watch it, and we would be laughing at certain parts, and he's not laughing at those parts. He's laughing at parts that aren't even jokes or whatever, or then he's laughing after everybody else laughs to try to fit in. So this very interesting thing where he's not, he doesn't, so very often at the beginning they're setting him up that he doesn't empathize with people, he doesn't connect with people. Humor is the way that people connect with one another, and he doesn't connect with humor, so he doesn't connect with other people. And he's very much a loner, and he's isolated, and he has his mom that he talks to, but that's pretty much the only person in his life that he interacts with on a daily basis that's not, being mean to him or something. That's pretty much the only one. Everybody else, his coworkers and stuff, they laugh at him and everything. He's constantly he gets mugged, or not mugged, but beat up on the street one day. He's very put upon. And well, this would be a character that you would feel sympathy for. In another movie or something, they would make this character sympathetic. He's not sympathetic in this because kind of his abrasiveness, just the way that he is, his attitude, he's very quickly, you don't find him sympathetic. He's a character that you don't feel sorry for, that this stuff is happening to him. I mean, bullying is always terrible and everything, and no one should be bullied, but just his attitude and everything, and how he feels like he deserves stuff, that he hasn't worked for. Frankly, he hasn't worked for it. You don't deserve stuff in life just because you feel like you deserve it. You gotta work for everything you get in this life. And he just feels like he just deserves stuff. That he's just put upon, whatever, that, this, that, and the other. And you gotta work for everything you got in life. You don't just deserve anything. So, he's not relatable, he's not a sympathetic character. But, this whole thing's going on as it goes on. He meets this girl, and they start dating and everything, and he really likes her. Well, the movie progresses, and you find out this is all figment of his imagination. They're not actually dating. It's this girl he met one time on the elevator to their building, and he's projected this whole relationship with her, and she's not actually with him at all in this movie, besides this one time that he met on the elevator, and that is more of and that's like when you realize that he's just really broken from reality. He's not attached to reality. That relationships with characters that he fantasizes, where they love and accept him and everything, and they talk about how he's the greatest and everything, and how they love him so much. But it's people that he's never actually met in person. It might be the talk show host of a TV show that he really likes, and he has this whole mental fascination about they'll meet, and this person will like him, whatever. And then reality hits, and he meets this person or whatever, and they don't feel that way because they don't know him, and he's very much oh, accept me, love me, I want your love, and they're like, get away from me, we don't know who you, get away, you're weird. Then they react harshly to him, and then he flies off the handle and everything, and it more and more breaks down who he is, breaks down him as a person and his psyche and everything, and more marginalize him. And yeah, some of it is that there's mental health issues and everything, and that's horrible, and I know that people actually struggle with that kind of stuff. And, he can't get help because city funding is being cut back, so he can't get all the help that he needs. And, that would do wonders for him. And, he's not, and he stopped, but he stops taking his medication. So as much as there are things where you can feel sympathy for him, there are things that he does where you don't feel sorry for him or anything. He starts not taking his medication because I think it's not helping. So he becomes more and more deranged and more out there because he stops taking his medication. His thoughts become wilder and darker and everything. And then he kills his mom. He smothers her to death with a pillow. And this is the break. This is when he just stops becoming Arthur Fleck, and he embraces this new alter ego that he's got. He doesn't call himself the Joker yet, but he's not Arthur Fleck anymore. He goes back to his apartment, and he starts trying face paints and everything and different stuff because at this point he's booked a gig. He had booked a gig as stand-up, but he just bombed. He was terrible. He wasn't funny. He just sat there and laughed a lot of the time. But this video kind of went viral for the time, and it got picked up by the talk show host that he liked, and they were making fun of it on their show about it. And he saw this, and that really set him over, really made him upset, because he thought he would be big and everything, and he thought this talk show host would embrace him and love him, and it didn't happen. He rejected him just like everybody else did in his life. And obviously he's not happy about that. And he goes, and he starts, but it picks up, and the talk show's viewership goes through the roof. People love watching this segment. So he books Arthur on his talk show to come on and do his routine and everything. But they're gonna make fun of him. They're just gonna make fun of him. They want to milk this a little bit more. They want to make fun of Arthur and get their viewership up. They don't care about Arthur. They just want to make fun of him some more. So at this point, Arthur's experiment. He dyes his hair green, and he's trying face paint and everything. He's gonna be a clown. On on the talk show host, when they were making fun of him, they called him, they said, hey, take a look at this Joker. So this is where he plants the seed for his name, and he starts working with paint and everything, and doing all this kind of stuff, and messing with paint. Well, while he's working on this paint and everything, two of his old co-workers from his job come, and they will wish him condolences for his mom dying. This is the most Joker thing pretty much in the entire movie. This is such a Joker comic book thing to do. He kills Randall, and he's in there and he's laughing and everything, and he's just like, whoo! And he doesn't mean anything to him. But then he goes, Charlie, you can go ahead and go. He goes, you can leave. And he lets Charlie just leave. Because he didn't have a beef with Charlie really much. Charlie was the only person who was ever nice to him. But it's just such a Joker thing to do. And it shows that, like, the Joker doesn't just go around and just doesn't kill everybody. I mean, he kills a lot of people. The Joker kills a lot of people in the comics and everything. But sometimes he just lets people live for random reasons. When they expect they're going to die or whatever, he just lets them live. And this is a scenario straight out of the comic book. It was such a humorous scene. But he's completely, like, he's broken now. He's accepted this Joker persona. He puts on the makeup. He goes to the talk show. He says, I want you to introduce me as Joker. He goes out and he's doing this whole thing, and he's embracing it. And, then he confesses, hey, I've killed people. I've killed multiple people. And this whole movement that's going on outside where people are upset with the rich and everything and the downtrodden, he goes, that's me. I started all that by killing those 3 rich people on the subway. And they deserved it. He goes, because they were mean to me. And they deserved it. And they were laughing at me. And then the host of the show kind of criticizing, saying how, everybody gets put upon their life. You can't just go around shooting people and everything. You think you're so tragic and he goes, you need to grow up, you're a baby. And he pulls out and then the Joker pulls out a gun, shoots the talk show host in the head, and then laughs about it. Everyone else is screaming and running, and he just sits in the chair, and he's just looking around, and he's smiling. And then he gets up, shoots the host 2 more times in the chest, starts dancing around, walks over to the monitor, and just starts talking to the monitor for a little bit until the cops are up and they tackle him. And he gets arrested. Well, outside, he started this whole movement. There's riots, there's protests, people are burning cars and everything. They started this whole thing. He's accepted. He's finally found people. He's caused anarchy, and this is his purpose in life. He says earlier that he always thought his life was a tragedy, but it turns out it's a comedy. And he's just sitting there, he's dancing and everything, and he thinks that he's such a big deal now. He's the Joker. He's made these people, they've accepted him, and he's brought joy into all these people's lives. He's finally done what he was always supposed to. He makes people laugh. And this is his way of doing it. And his sense of humor is twist and morbid, but he says at one point in the movie when he's talking to the talk show host, that humor is subjective. And you might not think I'm funny, and people think you're funny, but I'm funny, you're not funny. And he thinks that by killing people and stuff, that's what is funny to him. And that's very much a Joker thing. That's a Joker from the comic thing. The Joker thinks killing people is funny. And he thinks that as well. So, very much hand in hand, such a good job thinking that way about him. And this whole thing's going on and everything, and he's dancing on the car, and Thomas and Martha Wayne and little Bruce Wayne, they come out of the theater, and all this stuff's going on, and they duck down this alleyway, they're trying to get away. Well, this guy sees them go down this alleyway, and he's wearing a clown mask. And he goes down this alleyway with them. So, in this movie, what Arthur Fleck / the Joker, what he started, what he did, created Bruce Wayne. He didn't have a hand directly in creating Bruce Wayne. He didn't kill his parents. But what he started, Bruce Wayne's parents died because of that. So that's an interesting twist on it. This is very much an Elseworlds story. This is not, this is not a straight up, this is not a story that's ever going to happen in DC continuity, because the Joker would be way too old by the time Batman became Batman. But this is a cool Elseworld. This is an what if story. What if the Joker, by what he's doing, created Batman? And it's very much this, and it twists on his head, because in the comics, Batman creates the Joker. When the Red Hood falls into the vat of chemicals, and the robbery and creates. So this is very much reverse that. Joker creates Batman. So it's an interesting just switching their roles. And I really like that about the movie. That was an interesting little twist. That just switch their roles of who made who. And it links them from the very beginning. Just like it does in the comics. But, in a different way, it links them still. And it makes the relationship symbiotic, just like it is in the comics. Which that was such a good job, and they just flipped that. I liked that they did that. That was really, really good. So, this whole thing happens. Wayne's get killed. He's dancing in the hood of his car. The city's burning, descending into anarchy. And really, you could say that this is what might be the catalyst that starts, because when we all know in the comics, when Batman steps out, he comes about because the city is lost. It's an anarchy. Good crime is taken over. The cops are ineffective. This is why Batman, comes to help the city because of this. So this could be the catalyst that causes Gotham's descent into a crime-ridden and a sewer. So this is all. So he could be, whole reason Batman comes around could be because of this version of the Joker, which is an interesting concept, and I really like that. And I know that we're probably not gonna get any more movies in this set in this universe or anything. They pretty much said this is a one-off, but it'd be interesting to see what would happen if it take place, 20 years later, and Batman, that'd be interesting. It's not gonna happen, but it'd be interesting. Talk about the ending of the movie, because this movie ends, and Joker is and he's in Arkham Asylum. He's in the hospital, and he's talking to a psychiatrist, and he's sitting there, and he doesn't have, doesn't have green hair anymore, doesn't have face paint on. He's just sitting there, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he's just laughing to himself. And the psychiatrist goes, "Is something funny?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm just thinking of a joke." And she goes, "What is it?" He goes, "You wouldn't get it." So, that's pretty much how the movie ends. So, my question is this whole movie, everything that happened, is it not real? Is he in the hospital the entire time, and he's just thinking, and he's just fantasizing about all this stuff? Like, if he was out of the hospital, he would do this. So, my question is, let me know what you think. Was this whole movie, was it not real? Was it just in his mind, all these events that happened, all the people he killed, all this stuff, what he did, was in his mind, was something that he would do if he could get out of the hospital? I'm kind of leaning that, yes, it is in his mind, that this is what would happen if he could get out of the hospital. Because it's such a weird thing to end it on. It's kind of the Christopher Nolan spinning the top in Inception, and it kind of wobbles a little bit, and you're like, oh, is he still in limbo, or is he not? I feel like this is kind of like one of those kind of things. Like, why would they have that at the end with him in the psychiatrist's office thinking, and you're like, oh, is he thinking about this entire event, all this stuff that happened, and thinking it's funny? Did it not really happen? So let me know in the comments what you think. If you after you've seen the movie, is this something that actually happened? Is he actually, did he just make up the whole thing in his head of what he would do if he wasn't in the hospital, or did all this stuff actually happen, and he created the Joker, and then he's in the hospital, and he's in the Arkham Asylum at the end? Let me know. Because the last shot of him then is him walking down the hallway and leaving bloody footprints down the hallway after leaving the psychiatrist's office, suggesting that he killed the psychiatrist in there. So is that actually the start of his, when he saw this whole thing, he goes, this, I can do this, kill the psychiatrist, walk down the hallway, bloody footprints to get out of Arkham Asylum and start this whole thing. So let me know in the comments what you think. But that's been my spoiler review of the Joker. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you the next time that I log in for monitor duty up here in the Watchtower.